Hola chicos, bienvenidos otra vez a la clase de español 2001. Mi nombre es Chase Fulford y yo soy el instructor para esta clase. So we're gonna do this video obviously in English because I want to make sure that everything is clear and clarified and straightforward as to a few of the opening sort of procedures that we're looking at in terms of the course. If you're already looking at this video, this hopefully means that you've already had a chance to kind of look at some of the materials that are posted to eLC. So all I want to do is I just want to walk you through the two main platforms, which are, of course, first eLC. We're going to talk a little bit about what you're going to find here on the home page and then on the content page. And then we're going to spend a lot more time talking about Connect. We're going to be spending the bulk of your time. So here we are, guys. We're on the home page of our course on eLC. So I'm just going to come down a little bit, and we have three main buttons. They're going to take us to the most important aspects that you'll see right now in the course, especially since we're just now getting started. So you have your course syllabus, and guys, I'm not going to make a whole video on your course syllabus. I think that everything is pretty much self-explanatory in terms of your evaluations, in terms of the way that you're going to be graded, what types of assignments that we're going to have. But if you do have questions, always make sure that you send me an email. If you have anything that you need clarified, I will be more than happy to walk through anything with you on a one-on-one basis. Next, we have the daily course calendar, and as it's pretty obvious, but you're going to be referring to this every single day, okay? So I would advise, if you have access to a printer, go ahead and print this document out and then post it somewhere prominent in your room, or just wherever it is that you're going to be doing your work, because you're going to be referring to this on, like it says, a daily basis. And then lastly, we have a couple of course resources. This is just kind of like a bank of different links, different pages to kind of help you with some troubleshooting, a couple of extra things if you need some help with recording, maybe some practice, those kinds of things. But that's a very helpful site just to kind of give you a few extra links. So we're going to talk a little bit about troubleshooting in terms of like tech issues within Connect in just a moment. But while we're here on eLC, you'll notice that the navigation bar has everything that you're going to need to use. We're going to have to use the Dropbox on occasion. There will be some announcements that will be posted weekly. You'll have a lot of discussions that are already loaded for you there on the discussions tab. And then of course you have just the one quiz that you'll be taking here on eLC. The rest of course will be on Connect, but the only quiz that you'll be seeing here is for the syllabus quiz, and that'll be due in Modulo Uno, which I'm going to talk to you about in just a little bit. So I'm going to go ahead and click on content. So as soon as you log in, if you're new to eLC, it's very helpful. If you're new to eLC, always click on content. That's going to take you to wherever it is that you left off, or whatever it is that we're on currently in the course. So I'm going to start off with Modulo Uno, okay? And guys, it's very important that you read through every single link, every single file, every single page description that is inside of this module. And the reason why is because this is your orientation. This is what's going to help you to understand where we're going in the course, okay? I like to post everything kind of like here in the details in the description, so that way you can see what are the major sort of documents that you need to cover, just to make sure if we want to hit a few of the high points. You'll always have checklists in each module that'll tell you day by day what it is that you're going to be doing. Like I said, that daily course schedule kind of gives you a heads up, but this is going to give you a week-to-week sort of idea of what it is that you'll be turning in. All of your deadlines for the course are going to be 11:59 p.m. with the exception of one assignment, and I'm going to talk to you about that as we get towards that point in the summer. It's not coming up anytime soon, though. Okay, so this is your orientation. This is your first module, and it's going to walk you through all the different assignments, the different types of assignments that we're going to be having. But I really want to take us now to the Connect registration and tips. I'm going to click on this tab. And you'll notice that we have a lot of different resources here to make sure that you can get registered for Connect in a variety of different ways. We have one link that's up here, the direct link, that's going to take you directly to the Connect website. I'm not going to click on it just yet because I want to show you a different thing in terms of just being able to register, and then we're going to get to that link. So I've got here a tab for registration info and tips. I'm going to click on the web link for this class. This is just the really traditional way that we've always passed registration to students in 2001. So if you click on this link, it's going to take you to a PDF, and it's going to show you this URL that's right there. Okay, so if you click on that URL, it's going to walk you through what you need to do in order to be able to purchase your materials for the course. However, I understand at the beginning of every semester, the summer, whatever the case may be, there could be some times where you're wanting to hold off or postpone purchasing your materials, especially if you're still trying to find out if you want to stay in the course. The neat thing about Connect is that you have a free 2-week period. And so even if you fully intend to continue on in the course, but you want to just maybe take some time before you have to make that purchase, go ahead and sign up for that 2-week free period. It's not going to delete anything when you're done. It's not going to take anything away. It's not going to delete your access once that 2-week period is finished. It's just going to help you kind of get started without having to pay. And that's also going to help you make sure that you don't get behind, particularly at the very beginning of the semester with our deadlines. I'm going to talk to you a little bit about that in a second too. So other thing that I would like to mention to you guys, purchase your materials from the direct Connect website. Okay, I do not suggest going back to the bookstore, okay, or the UGA bookstore. I do not suggest going through them. I find that it's a lot cheaper. Okay, I think maybe even perhaps half the price. I'm not entirely sure though, but I do think it is cheaper if you go directly to the Connect website. So click on that link. It's going to walk you through what you need to know in order to be able to get to full access for the course for Connect, and then you have all of my information for the course that I set up for us there on Connect. So, all right, so imagine that you've already registered for the course, you're ready to get started with some of the materials, okay? I'm going to go back to that initial page we were just on. I'm going to click on where it says direct link to the Connect site. I click on that, okay? Now this is where it's going to look a little bit different. Excuse me, it's going to look a little bit different on my end versus the student profile. So I'm not entirely sure what you're going to see on your end, but I'm going to walk you through a couple of things anyway. So when I click on that link, this is where I go. And the course is paired with eLC. So as far as I understand it, you're going to be able to get straight to Connect just by clicking on that one link. When you get to this page, click on Connect. Okay. And since I'm already logged in, all I'm going to do is just hopefully, I think I'm logged in. Let's see. Yeah. Okay. So it'll just take you to a page that looks similar to this, but not quite. Okay. What I would suggest when you get to this page, after you log in or when you get to the login page itself, make sure that you bookmark this in your browser so that way you can have easy access to it. I also recommend using Google Chrome. I'm using Microsoft Edge right now just because that works best for me on this laptop. However, I do have access to Google Chrome, and when you use Connect, Chrome tends to work best. Okay, if you're using Safari, which I'm sure a lot of you are, I would still recommend have Chrome available to you to access to be able to use it for Connect, and then obviously when you're taking the assessments. Okay, so like I mentioned to you a second ago, this looks a lot different from the page that I'm thinking that you guys are accessing. This is the instructor view. I'm going to go on over to the student view. Okay, all right, and as you can see, this is entirely different. Okay, so everything is set up for you by modules, and they correspond with what's on eLC. Okay, some of these don't look at these modules as just week to week, like week 1, week 2, week 3. Rather, these are outlined by different chapters. Okay, so in the very first week of the course, we're going to be using módulos 1 and módulos 2. Okay. Make sure, of course, like I said, you have complete access to get to this point by June 17th. Okay, that's exactly 1 week from the first day of class. Okay, that's on a Friday, June 17th, and by that point, you're going to want to make sure that you're already registered for the course. You have everything that you need, and as you can see, there are a lot of different assignments that are going to be due. Okay, so I highly suggest, and I'm going to try to remind you of this as we get closer to the date, but take a look at just everything that is in fact due on the 17th. Okay, it's a lot. So you're going to want to make sure that you don't wait until the last minute to do these assignments. I highly recommend, if you go back to the daily course calendar, it's got it sort of broken up into chunks for you, suggested on each day. Okay, at least for this first full week, as we're making sure that everyone gets their access, but don't put this off until the last day. It's way too much, in my opinion, to have to try to do on Friday, June 17th. Okay, so especially if you're going out of town, if you're going on vacation, or whatever the case may be. But you want to make sure, of course, don't wait until you have to do all of these by 11:59 p.m. Okay, so anyway, these types of assignments, you have some vocabulary. A lot of your time is going to be devoted to grammar. So let's just take, for example, what we would expect for grammar assignments. Okay, you typically have, per each grammar lesson, you have 3 types of assignments. The first you have are the tutoriales, the tutorials, and those just walk you through with videos in English about what you're doing in the course. And those are very, very important. The reason why is because we are a fully asynchronous course. There's no instruction that I'm going to be offering to you. You're going to be learning all of this from your home. So those are very important. Those walk you through how to do the lesson. After that, we get to ALAs. ALA stands for Adaptive Learning Assignment. Okay, and what that is it's just a rolling list of questions that are dedicated to one specific assignment. Okay, so what you're going to be doing is you're going to be going through those until you master it with a 100%. Okay, with regards to the ALAs, you have to do them by the date that they are due. Okay, there's no late access for these assignments. They have to be done on those specific days. They're classified as practice assignments. Okay, and when you get to estructuras uno, práctica, for example, those are like the more sort of based on accuracy assignments that are in Connect. So you get 3 attempts for each assignment. Your highest attempt is the one that gets counted, and it's 10% per day if you're doing it late. Okay, so obviously after 10 days, the assignment will completely expire. Okay, so that's for the homework. That's the different types of homework assignments. Of course, like I said, you're going to have some vocabulary as well, but that's just the main things in terms of grammar. Now, let me talk to you about something before we go any further. This is also the site that we use to locate our online textbook. So I didn't mention this at the beginning, but when you purchase your access course, you already gain access to MAS. Okay. Now, if you took Spanish 1001, 1002, or 1110 at UGA, this is a different textbook. This is not the same textbook that you would have used in any previous Spanish course. Okay. The reason why is because you're starting out with the intermediate level. So this is an entirely different book. Okay. So click on that link. And what that's going to do is that's going to take you to our textbook. Now, since I've opened this before, it's going to take me to a different page, I imagine. So it's set up in the same way where it's going to take you to the same place you were where you left off. So once it loads, it takes me to page 15. Okay. All right. So essentially, this is chapter 1. Cómo se expresa to be, ser, estar, hacer, tener, haber, those different expressions. This is in chapter 1. And so you'll be looking through all of the different pages for material. This is going to be what's going to help you to learn and to master the content. Okay. Now, that's your online textbook. Okay. You're given a few different tools. If you want to adjust the different size of the text, you click on that, and that can make it larger, that can make it smaller, whatever works best for you. Okay. If you want to navigate to a different chapter, you're going to go over here to the table of contents on the left. Okay. Click on that. And that's going to take you to all of the different chapters. In Spanish 2001, you're going to be using you're moving through chapters 1 through 7. Chapters 8 through 12 are going to be the ones that you go through in Spanish 2002, which is the course obviously right after this one. Okay, so you have access to the full textbook. Everything here works. Another thing that I really enjoy about this textbook, and this especially I think affects us as an online course, is go over to, for example, palabras, which is the vocabulary. And the good thing about this is once you look at the different words, you'll notice there's a little link here. You can click on that and you can play the audio. If I play it now, I'm not sure it'll come through on the video, but it'll walk you through the pronunciation. And pronunciation, guys, is one of those things that we really want to focus on in an online course. Albeit, of course, we're not in a formal in-person class. You still want to make sure that you're practicing your pronunciation. Okay, so we talked about that. I'm going to go back to our course on Connect after we leave the ebook there. So first things you want to look at, you'll have the Connect orientation, which is going to walk you through some more of the nuances of Connect. And then you're also going to have what's known as the Proctorio orientation. I'm not sure how long the video is running as of now. I'm not sure if I have enough time that I want to dedicate to Proctorio. I might have a separate video that I want to use for that. But essentially, Proctorio is the online proctoring software. It's going to be what you use to take all of your quizzes and exams. And in order to access those quizzes and exams, they're at the very bottom of the page, okay, where it should say assessments. You'll see that you'll have all of your assessments that will be posted here, including a Proctorio practice, okay, which you'll notice is also due June 17th. So we have a lot of things going on then. But everything else after you leave there, everything is going to be built in with Proctorio, okay, and it records your screen almost like I'm doing now. However, it locks down your browser. Okay, so you'll see in the Proctorio practice, when you do a run through of Proctorio, you'll see how it affects your computer. You'll see what you need to do in order to be able to successfully take each quiz and exam. The thing that you want to remember is that each evaluation, each assessment must have its own video. If it doesn't have its own video, it has to get filed away as a 0, and you don't want that to affect your grade. Okay, so keep those things in mind. I'll be giving you alerts or reminders when we get closer to the dates of major quizzes and exams. You don't have to use Proctorio for just basic homework assignments, though. That's just for evaluations, okay? The other thing that we're going to be doing when it comes to Connect is we're going to be doing what are known as recorded video chats, or RVCs. And what you're going to be doing is you're getting with a partner, one other person that's in the course. If we have an odd number of students, I will allow one group of 3, but you're going to be meeting simultaneously on Connect at an agreed time, okay, that works for your schedules. There is a discussion folder on eLC where you can post your availability if you're still looking for a partner, or if you have a friend that's already taking the course. Both of you, whatever the case may be, both of you will meet each other on Connect at the same time, and then there will be one person that is designated the host, and then they will invite the other person to the RVC, okay? And then we use a software that's very similar, if not the exact same, to Zoom, okay? And then you'll go from there. You'll notice you have 2 conversations due per week, okay? If you think that's a lot, the reason why is because this is a summer session, and so we're putting everything in a very short amount of time. So you have 2 conversations per week. We're not, like I said, we're not taking anything away from the course. We're not adding anything additional in. We're just simply going through everything in a lot, sort of more of an accelerated pace. So if I just click on RVC, Module 2, Conversation 1, just to kind of give you a little bit of an idea here. Okay. Okay, so here we go. We're going to continue. All right. So you'll be taken to a page just like this where you're coordinating with your classmate that you've been able to work with in order to do this video. Okay. Since I don't have someone on the other end ready to go to practice with this, there's not a whole lot far. There's not really a whole lot more that I can show you here. But you should have a prompt. There you go. So here we go. This is sort of like an additional thing in order to be able to prepare. If you're still watching the video, then here you go. You've already got your prompt for your first conversation. Okay. So this is going to relate back to the vocabulary from pages 6 through 7, describing different people, and then you'll go so forth and so on. Okay. Now, if you want to watch a more in-depth practice of how to coordinate with a partner, there is a great video that's put out by McGraw-Hill from the textbook, and it's on eLC under RVCs, and they walk you through exactly everything that you need to do in order to do an RVC go through for your first conversation. Okay. So that takes us, I think, to the end. That we talked about eLC. We talked about a few things we're going to use on eLC. We talked about Connect. We talked about your online e-textbook, your homework, your evaluations, your RBCs. I kind of want to cap it around now so that way the video doesn't take too much more of your time. And you may see other videos from me, but that is all for now. Guys, like I said, if you have questions, please make sure that you send me an email. I would be very, very happy to go over any of this again with you if you're still a little bit unsure. Okay. Pues, entonces voy a dejar de usar screen share, okay? Y ya, adiós.